Hey there guys, Mr. Sweet Films here, and today we're looking at David Finch's The Game. Now, everybody says that M. Night Shyamalan is the best at twist endings. He does have great twist endings, but I think David Fincher has better twist endings than him. Because with M. Night Shyamalan, after a while, you always predict it, because he stays to the same genre. He does horror. And most of the times he has... After you've seen the first couple of films, you can pretty much guess the ending to the rest of them. But with David Fincher, he always directs different genres, like action for Fight Club, suspense and thriller for The Game, and horror for Seven. And you can never predict those when you're in a different genre. And I think today's movie had a great twist ending. I mean, it did have a lot of problems. In fact, a lot of continuity errors, but we'll get to that later. What I want to focus on right now is the good parts of the movie. Like, this whole entire thing felt like a Twilight episode to me. It had that feeling of a nightmare, kind of trippy at times. It was suspenseful because you never knew what those guys playing the game were doing to him, or going to do to him. And well, I think it had a great twist. But the acting was good, don't get me wrong, but Michael Douglas and Sean Penn have had far better roles than these. I mean, I don't really know why Sean Penn got second billing, since he's only in the beginning of the movie. Basically has a slight cameo in the middle, and then is at the end. But Michael Douglas, he got top billing because obviously he's the main character. I mean, he's on the poster. But this film had a lot of product placement. I mean, there's one scene where they were running down the street, running away from the bad guys, and they ran past a FedEx logo, and it was this wide shot. Everything else was black except for FedEx, and then the fox, and then what's inside. And then there was another shot where, after something happened to him, he got back to San Francisco, which is where the film takes place, and there was this one shot of him walking down a highway in the middle of the night, and there was nobody else on the highway. And the first part of that shot was this giant Baskin-Robbins truck that said Baskin-Robbins, 31 flavors, and it had all the ice cream laid out. It was this long 18-wheeler. And it stayed there for at least, I don't know, 2-3 seconds, and then finally started to roll on. And then after it pulled out, then you saw him walking down that street that was supposed to be busy, but it was in the middle of the night, so it wasn't. And when I said this film had continuity errors at the ending, it did. I mean, spoiler alert, there's this part where Michael Douglas shoots Sean Penn. And first off, don't want to spoil that, but he shoots Sean Penn and they're on top of a roof. So Michael Douglas gets all depressed because he can hear the cops coming, and he knows that he's going to get arrested, and so is everybody else. So since he's on top of a building, naturally he jumps and tries to commit suicide. But he falls through this window, and right below is this mat where he lands so he doesn't die. Then when he gets off the mat, at least that must have taken under a minute for him to fall down there. The rest of the minute for the EMTs to help him, and then he got off, and in under a minute and a half, Sean Penn went from acting dead on the top of the building, running down. He obviously went by elevator or stairs or something. Going down, got to the main floor, and this was at least a 36-story building, and then saw him and was smiling. But how do you run from the top of a building to the bottom of a building that's 36 stories high in under a minute and a half? Not even the elevator could take you that fast. But, yeah, there was a lot of continuity errors. What else do I have in this book? Oh yeah, I heard about this one thing on another web show. It's an effect in a movie called The Jerk, the Redeemable Jerk Effect. And basically what it is you take a guy who's a terrible guy. He's exactly like Michael Douglas in this movie. He's a fat cat, Wall Street businessman, multi-millionaire, just rich as can be, and won't spend a dime of it on anybody else. And in the Redeemable Jerk Effect, by the end of the movie, they're a better person and are better people. Well, in this movie, I think they took that Redeemable Jerk Effect and went a little too far with it, because usually with a Redeemable Jerk, you can usually with the Redeemable Jerk, you torture him, and then he's a better person by the end of the movie, or her, like District 9. And I think they might have tortured him a little too much in the game. That's just my opinion, though. Thanks for watching.